Hey, yo, what's up everyone? It's your boy Carl back at it again. New video, same grind, you already know. I hope y'all doing well on this Friday afternoon and ready to grind the art because like always, I'm ready. Well, today I'm not really grinding the art. Well, you'll see behind me there will be an art time lapse of me drawing Donkey Kong from Donkey Kong of course, but from the new game Bananza that got announced on Nintendo Switch 2. And man, really hyped with that console, but the price though. Oh man, let's not talk about this today. But yeah, today's video is gonna be art journey checkpoint. That's how I'm gonna call this video, checkpoint video, just to make a retrospective on over the things that I've been doing so far. What if the art grind's been doing well, you know, what we're gonna do in the future, and also gonna go just a little bit over the things that are technically outside of art but not really outside of art because it's still gonna help me in my art journey in some shape or form. But yeah, so I wanted to make this video, you know, just to, you know, because we're about to start a new block, the block 3 in the pre-animation school training arc. And yeah, I just wanted to pause a little bit for this week, you know, just to take a breather. Though I'm still grinding, I'm still practicing for my daily practices for the block 3, see what I have to do. So next week, well, starting next week when I'm gonna start doing part 16, I'll know what I'm doing. Right now I'm doing everything for a first time. There's practices I've already done, but the way I approach it might be different, so I want to know what I'm saying before I just make a video for first time doing a practice and I'm like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, I just want to explore first before we go any further. And also, sorry for the last video, the mic had some issues. Well, the mic didn't have issues, OBS has some issues, and it started to get annoying. Every time I'm recording, it crashed. My computer froze entirely, and yeah, OBS has been causing me problems lately a lot. And luckily, I stopped streaming I'm not streaming for this year, but it's getting really annoying. So I'm gonna try to find other ways to record stuff. I've heard about a new record program and I'm gonna try it and see if it works properly on my computer. If not, I think I'm just gonna reboot OBS from scratch and, you know, redo all my settings because it's annoying really. And I hope while I'm recording this video the sound doesn't is not off. So yeah, but anyway, let's get started, shall we? So yeah, let's start with what we've been doing so far. You know, they're gonna make a small review of what we've been doing so far. So as you know, I'm practicing, studying, well, not really studying, I'm more practicing than studying stuff, because studying is when you are trying to get new knowledge. Practicing is to work the knowledge that you got, I think. But anyway, I've been practicing a lot since November of last year, since November 2024, because it was at this month, if I remember correctly, that I officially got the letter for my acceptation in animation school. Actually, I got it later on. I still grinded assuming that I got accepted to the school because I went with that mindset. But anyway, so I've been grinding I've been getting ready for animation school since November of last year, and the first 2 blocks was really focused on the fundamentals. And if you haven't watched my series yet, the link's gonna be in the description box below, or you can see it in the card in the top right of the video. And yeah, so essentially the way I approach this training is similar to a challenge that I've done last year called the past 2 years, called the Hyperbolic Art Grind Push, where I solely focus on one specific skill that I want to improve for 12 weeks. And I want to apply the same type of practice, the same type of discipline for this practice, but instead of focusing on one specific skill, I'm going to focus on the fundamental globally, if it makes sense, you know. So block 1 and block 2 were really focused on the main base of things that you need to be able to draw decently, or above average at least, you know, above the skill level of people that just do this for hobby or not really serious. They don't really strive for improvement, you know. So block 1, I was really focusing on simplification, anatomy simplification, proportion, and gesture drawings. So I've done a lot of those, and also a bit of character design ish, you know, just to get the swing of things, you know, just to make to have a bit of fun, you know, some fun time to draw. And for block 2, we're focusing on a more building phase, you know, like perspective, shape, forms, depth, volume, all that stuff that come with blocks and all this stuff, you know. And we're really focusing on that for the first 2 blocks. And also, and so I've been doing this since November, and now we are in April. So I mean, it's been 5-6 months now that I've been doing this practice. And to be honest, I haven't been doing a lot of application of what I've been practicing, and which is why I decided for the past 3 videos to do just that. And so if you watch the 3 previous episodes that we did, so part shit, I don't know how to count, but anyway, the last 3 part that I've done recently, the last 3 episodes of the pre-animation school training arc, I've been doing some redraws instead of doing the daily practices I've been doing. I've been doing my daily practices on this off screen, but after that I've been doing some type of artwork so I can apply my knowledge and apply everything that I've been practicing into illustration to see if I actually learn what I've studied. And we started with this first one where it was just a self-portrait of me doing the Kamehameha, and it was the original illustration. I did it back in 2017, so it was a year prior that I decided to take art seriously. Back then I was just doing art just to long story short, escape the dark reality or whatever. I was in depression back then, okay? That's the summary of it. So I was just using art to escape some stuff. And 2018, this is why I started to take art a bit more seriously and decide to really grind, you know, being in that grind mindset that I'm in right now. And of course, 2017, 2025, of course I improved, you know, like if it didn't improve it within 7-8 years time, I mean, are you really drawing at this point? Like, bro, question yourself. So yeah, it was obvious I improved. I did a lot better than what I did when I first tackled digital art back then. So yeah, there's no surprise there. And so I decided to challenge myself even more with the second redraw, and I decided to redraw an illustration that I've done last year. Well, technically it was 5 months ago, so it was still last year, but 5 months ago. So five months is technically a lot, but not a lot, you know, depending on what your situation, you know. Luckily for me, I'm in a position where I can spend as much time as I want with my art, and you know, like if I want, I can just spend the entire day just practicing and drawing, and the only time that I won't be drawing will be like when I go eat, when I go to the bathroom. But I don't do that. I used to do this back when I used to work on my webcomic, but let me tell you, that's not healthy at all. And yeah, you don't want to do that. So try to have a block in your day to practice, focus on your art, and then do something else. You know, you can do art all day if you want to, but you have to approach it in a healthier manner, you know. But anyway, that's besides the point. So yeah, I'm in a position where I can really focus on my art and not worry about a lot of things, you know. I don't have a lot of responsibilities yet, and yeah, so I'm able to practice on a daily basis, you know. And of course, someone that want to try to do that but have responsibilities, will be hard for them to see the same result as me within 5 months, you know. Though, you know, the amount of time you practice doesn't really matter, because what matters is the quality that you put into that time, you know. Like someone who practice for 2-3 hours, but you know, do it in a not in a quality way, like it will still improve, but it won't be as well as someone that put a good quality focus study for 20 minutes or 30 minutes, you know. Like, it's the quality that really matters. So yeah, so don't think like, oh, to be good I need to draw for 5 hours. Like, no, you don't need that. Actually, you won't even be able to do that, because you know, sometime after, from what I understand, after 30 minutes, an hour, your brain stop absorbing information. I mean, you can train yourself to absorb more information for a long period of time, but at some point your brain starts to accumulate information, and you know, this is where you start to rush things up. You start to do quantity instead of quality. So yeah, so you want to really block a schedule where you can focus, and then after that take a good break, and then come back later on to the practice or the study that you're trying to do, you know. So yeah, so I decided to tackle the challenge and redraw the shit I did 5 months ago. And you know, I was getting cocky a little bit. I was like, oh, yo, I nailed it the previous one, so let me do this one, because I know the one I did 5 months ago was trash. And then I look at it, and if you remember in the video, the first reaction that I had was like, I was cooked, because bro, this shit look better than I was remembering it, you know. In my head, like the shit was like trash. Well, you know, trash. I mean, yeah, it was trash in my head, you know. Like I was trying to remind myself like what it looked like before I take a look at it. I'm like, damn, yo, I'm pretty sure I can do this better than what I did before. Then I look at it, I'm like, oh, yeah, gotta be a hard work, chief. But hey, I got scared when I started to do the redraw, but I tackled it. And look, it took me 6 hours to finish the shit, and those 6 hours were really worth it because I actually did improve. And this redraw alone just proved that that the training that I've been doing so far has been more effective than I expected, you know, because I was expecting some improvement, but in a minor way. Even in the video, I just kept saying like, yo, like I know I can improve it, but it's gonna be like minor improvement, nothing else. But when I finished the session, like I could see the improvement everywhere in the session, like not only the fundamental, but also like the way I apply like the stylized stuff, the way I color, the way I shade, the gesture, the volume, depth, and everything. Like everything I've been practicing so far, I've leveled up in this situation. I'm like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting that. Like I took my time. It took me 6 hours to do it, and it was really worth it. And I was really proud of myself. Like honestly, like after I finished this video, I went Super Saiyan mode. Like I was screaming because I was so hyped. I'm not kidding, because I was shook, and from there, like I felt like things are like, you know, like the future is bright, you know, type shit, you know. Like I don't want to try to start making some you know, I don't know how you say this, you know, like you know in the movies when the characters looking to the light and there's hope and everything. Like I'm not gonna start doing that, but yeah. But if I'm only in block 3 right now, and if in 2 blocks of just focusing on fundamentals and now block 3 we're focusing more on the stylized stuff, you know, I managed to improve my art that much. I wonder what it's gonna look like by the end of the 4 blocks, because block 4 is gonna be the last one. Well, the last one that I'm gonna do as a series for the YouTube channel, because after that I'm gonna start school, so I won't be able to do the pre-animation school stuff. So everything I'm gonna do after is gonna be animation. So yeah, but anyway, so I'm only in block 3 right now, beginner of block 3, and I'm like, yo, what my art is gonna look like by the end of block 4, you know? Like, yo, that's gonna be a huge level of major improvement. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, so all the doubts that I had for my training plan to understand, to see if I'm actually gonna improve, like went away after this illustration. And then after that, I did another redraw. It was an illustration that I'd done 2 years ago, and I was expecting to make some improvement, but when I finished it, I felt like there was lacking of something, you know. There lacked some oomph into it, and I got someone in Discord that you know, he critiqued my artwork, because you know he's watched my video and everything, and he critiqued it, and he made a small adjustment to my artwork with the way I drew the head, and it just made the entire drawing 10 times better. I'm like, what the fuck? So that's what the only thing that I was missing to make the illustration look better. And there's something I keep realizing with my artwork, with all the critiques I keep getting whenever I post my artwork in my Discord, or when I post it in the group of my mentorship, my manga mentorship that I'm in. I always realize that the reason why my artwork always look kind of but I always have this weird feeling about my art, because there's always this minor detail that I did wrong or that I didn't notice that break the illustration. And when someone points that out, I'm like, oh wow, it was just that one line that I messed up. Oh wow, it's just that one thing that I didn't place properly. Oh wow, it's just that one thing that I didn't pay attention to. But I realized that I always, like, I know where it's wrong, but I don't know what I need to do where it's wrong. Like in the Raven illustration, in this case, it was the head. You know, I knew there was something wrong about the head. I knew I can improve it, but I didn't know how I can improve it. And honestly, the only thing I had to improve is just the way I drew the features. Like, you know, it needed to curve more. The ears need to be more lowered, and I think something with the chin as well, I forgot. But if the person in Discord give me the permission, I'm gonna put in the editing his correction, what he showed to me, and honestly, like, the character looked just better for this correction, but yeah. So those are things that I need to be more aware of in the future when I'm whenever I feel something is off, like to actually make research about it, like, okay, why this look off, you know. If I can pinpoint the word it's off in the part that's off in illustration, I need to make some research about it, like why is it off. I need to find references or something like that, because also there was some ego in the way, like, I do this without reference, you know. I don't want to look for a reference to make this work, you know. So there's some ego that I need to put aside, some type of pride, I should say. So yeah, but other than that, you know, like I really improved within I'll say 5 months, because I'm gonna use the brace session, because this is the where I really realized my improvement went, like where my training was really effective. The other two, like the Raven and the Kamehameha illustration, is like, you know, there was a 2 years, 8 years, 7 years gap, you know. Like I'm expecting myself to improve with this huge gap, but 5 months for me is nothing, you know. Like, look, right now we're already in April. This is the 4th month in the year. For me, like, I feel like we were January last month, you know. Like 5 months is nothing for me. So yeah, but yeah. So in general, like the training plan is going really well. It's more effective than I expected, and also I want to recommend my training to someone else, unless their goals is the same as mine. That's the only thing that I will say. You know, like you can make the same training as me, like, you know, all the videos are there, you know. I'm recording all my practice session except for block 1. I think there's like 2 practice sessions that I didn't record because I started pretty late. I started recording the series pretty late, so there's 2 of them that I didn't record. But other than that, you have all my practice sessions that I've done that I do on a daily basis, and you can do it if you want to, but don't expect to get the same results as me, because the training plan that I made is for myself, and I know where I want to go with it, you know. And also I'm basing it on some things that I did on my mentorship back in 2023, you know. So those are things that I'm repeating actually, so I know what I'm tackling, you know. I know what I'm looking for, you know. And so yeah, you get, like, I will say, like, fundamentals. This is something that every artist should work on, should study in their artwork, no matter what, you know. But the way I'm approaching it might not work for you, because I'm studying in a different way. The way I study, the way I learn better, is by doing the same thing over and over and over until it becomes second nature, you know. Like I don't even need to think about it, like, you know, I just do it because this is how you have to do it, you know, which is a bad way to think, because you need to be aware of your decisions making. You know, you don't want to do something just because you have to do it. You know, you want to be able to explain it why you did a certain technique, a certain process in illustration. So I need to work on that too in the mentally side of things. But other than that, you know, this is how I learn best. You know, even at school, you know, the way I was studying is that I will study a formula or an information. I will recite it out loud multiple times until I say the sentence properly, word for word, bar for bars. And I've been succeeding like this at school, and I've been succeeding like this with my art as well. So I keep studying that same way. So your way of studying might be different than mine. And yeah, so that covered pretty much what the retrospective and what has been going on with so far, what we've been doing so far. So yeah. So let's move to the next point. So something that I'm doing behind the scenes of video is I've been working on my manga one shot. It was the final project for my manga mentorship, and I've been tackling page by page, 1 page a day since beginning of March, end of February, beginning of March, and I finally finished it, and it's available to read on the Discord. If you want to join Discord, the link is in the description box below, and it's free to read, no need to pay or anything like that, you know. It's you have access to it. It's in a Google Drive link, and I also put in there my art book that I've done in last year in the summer, which regroup all the sketches that I've done for 12 weeks, so 74 days ish, you know. I've been doing so daily sketches, daily practice, all there is in the art book, and I got my one shot as well. And yeah, and other than that, also I've been working on a style of comic called Young Coma. So it's literally just a 4-panel comic, and the reason why I'm doing this is to get ready for animation school as well. I won't record those sessions, those young comma sessions or manga sessions for YouTube, because I just want to focus on the training plan, which is to upgrade the skills. But working on young comma is a skill in particular, but it's just another skill that is more for the future that I'm probably gonna make a video about it once when I'm in the swing of things, when I'm gonna be in animation school. It's just to practice my storytelling skills, my learn how to finish a story, because I got a really it's not I won't say a bad habit, but it's just that I'm using open-ended stories as a crutch of not being able to finish my stories, so I want to learn how to finish them. Like if I have to finish a story within 16 pages, I'm gonna finish it 16 pages. I've finished a story in 10 pages, no more, no less, no more. Nothing less, nothing more. That's what I meant to say. So yeah, and my manga one shot, it was supposed to be a 16-page manga, but the mentors were a bit flexible and said, yeah, you can go up to 24 pages, or you can go up to a multiple of 4 pages. Like your last page have to be a multiple of 4. And so I ended at 24 because that's what worked for my story, or the details of my story. But I want to learn how to be able to finish things with less pages, so just so I can so I can learn how to finish my stories, with a limit budget. What's the word? Yeah, I don't know, but you get what I mean. Just learn how to really put a dot where I need to put them. So yeah, so I've been working on this skill in particular, and also especially for other projects in the future. I want to make this my next point, but I think I'm gonna make it just one point because it works both together. As of late as well, another thing that I've been doing outside of art, like I'm not really drawing anything like that. I've been reworking on Elementasia because I realized that Elementasia became Elementasia is really important to me. It's something really important to my art. It's a story that I've been working on since I was a kid. And it wasn't called Elementasia back then. It wasn't even related to whatever I'm working on right now. But the concept, the idea is to write or make a fantasy story, And I'm going back to the root of what I used to imagine my story back then, and from there develop it with my more mature, knowledgeable mind. So yeah, I've been reworking on Elementasia because the current version of Elementasia that I have now, or the current story that some of y'all, if you already read from chapter 1 to 4. By the way, I got chapter 5 available to read. It's done. I just never published it because I was about to delete my website, so I was like, there's no point of publishing it. And if there's demand, I'm gonna put back all chapter 1 to 5 in the drive where you can find the manga one shot and my summer art book, my summer art book, yeah. And I'm gonna put chapter 1 to 5 in there if there's interest to it. Other than that, I'm gonna gatekeep it. But yeah, so the current version of Elementasia that people are aware of, or that people know of, with my main character Kay, Beetle, Mikhail, and all the other cast, is really a lot of self-insert, especially for the main character, which is literally me back in my high school days. And the story take inspiration of a lot of events that happened in my high school days a lot of characters are based on people that I knew in my high school days, because back then, because my high school years were really impactful in a positive and negative wave. My school years were really impact me in a positive and negative ways as well. And I needed a place to, vent, and I used this story that I used as a kid to create that story. And eventually, I start to push it further to make it really, disconnected to what happened to my high school years, my high school days. And to make it more fantasy. And I've been writing. I got four notebook worth of lore for Elementasia. So it's really disconnected to my high school days now, but it's still it's really a lot of self-insert, and I'm trying to stay away from that because I've been consuming a lot of stories where I noticed this is a lot of self-insert from the author, and I didn't really like how it turned out. It felt really like out of touch. I didn't really like it, so I'm like, yeah, if I don't like that, why will I produce something similar to this? So I'm going back to the origins of Elementasia, and it's gonna still be called Elementasia, but the way I'm gonna approach it is gonna be really like in like really like gonna rework on things, like create something really, I won't say unique because there's nothing unique in the world, but original. Well, there's original stuff, but nothing unique. But I'm gonna try do something original, and of course, I'm still gonna use some life experience to build my story, because the best way you can tell a story is to use things that you went through, you know, so it can be more believable. So yeah, so I've been working on that, and actually I work on a story, like a short story, really short, but it's not in a comic or manga format. It's gonna be another format, and I'm not gonna talk too much more about it. I'm gonna keep that information as well, but it's something that I won't be able to work anytime soon for sure, because I need to work on other things, especially my art skills, but the idea is there. And in the future, if hopefully before the end of my 5-year time limit, I can start tackling it in some shape or form. And yeah, we'll see. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna rely a lot of animation school to be able to bring that project into I'm gonna use animation school to bring. I'm gonna use a lot of animation school knowledge to bring this project to life. You know, that's gonna be this gonna be the place that I'm gonna be, where I can learn all the stuff that I will need to bring that project to fruition, bring that story to life. So yeah. So this is what I've been working on outside of art, you know. So it's a lot of learn how to write stories, practicing my art skills, but it's more focused on being in the story part of it. So I don't really care about my art skills in this part of it. It's just really my storytelling skills. And yeah, so now we can move on to the next point, which is also, technically there's 2 more points, but I think I'm gonna fusion them into 1 point because it's gonna be about the same thing. All right, this is the last point of the video, and I hope this video is not 40 minutes, hopefully, because I tend to yap a lot in those videos whenever I'm not drawing, because when I draw I can really focus and lock in, but when I'm not drawing I like to yap. But anyway, so for the last block, now we're going to focus a bit more on the future, or technically the present, because it's what I'm doing right now, but we're gonna focus on the block 3. So as you know, for pre-animation school trading art, we've just finished block 2 last week, and starting this week as you watch this video, I'm already starting block 3, and next week you're gonna have the first episode. You're gonna have part 16, which is the first episode for block 3 of my training arc, of my training program that I made for myself. And for this block, I'm really gonna focus on simplification again, but in a stylization. So learn how to stylize. Not learn how to stylize. I'm learning how to stylize, but learning how I wanna stylize shit by studying other artists that inspire me and making master studies, and just picking a lot of artist brains that will create the type of artwork that I want to create. So yeah, so we are in the fun part. I'm still gonna do some fundamental stuff, a lot of draftmanship actually. Learn how to have line economy, learn how to make confident lines, so you know, like how to simplify things with the minimum of line, you know, like instead of drawing 10 lines to create one thing, use 4 lines to create it, you know, like the meme, draw a box with 3 lines or 4 lines. I don't know how many lines, but you know what I'm talking about. You know, like, we're gonna do this type of shit, but it's not a meme. It's like just to have a line economy so you can work on your confidence. And this is how you can create like those sketches that looks like finished artwork. You know, like the professional artists in the game industries, or even mangakas sometimes. You know, some mangakas, you know, they're sketches. You know, it look like finished work. And also people in the game or animation industry, they have clean sketches that looks like finished work, you know, and this training is gonna help me do that as well in the for the fundamental skills, but it's gonna be mostly focused on breaking down other artists that inspire me to reinforce my art style, because I gotta admit it, I gotta say it, that I got a art style going on, because for many years, not many years, for the past 2 years, I've been not rejecting my art style, but it's just like I didn't want to admit that I got a style, because I didn't like, well, it's not I didn't like it, it's just they were lacking things, and as long I was lacking those things, I wouldn't call this my style, because in my head, my style is what I will have when I got everything, or when I got all the skills up to par, up to the level of the professional artist, But if I keep thinking like that, I will never be able to appreciate what I'm able to create, what I'm able to create now, That's why lately when I've been doing my rituals, I've been really proud of myself. I'm like, yo, okay, like I'm not there yet, but I'm not there when it comes to the stylization or everything, but I see the vision, I see where I'm going with it, And this is what I want to refine. This is what I need to start to refine, Like I think I said in one of my videos, like right now my art is like a diamond in the rough, Like we need more pressure. We need to keep working on it so we can have a shine bright like a diamond type art, So yeah, I need to work on that. And Block 3 is gonna help me work on this. Block 1 and Block 2 help me have the foundation that I need now, so I can focus on a more creative part of it. I did less creative stuff in the first two parts. Now we're gonna focus on that. And also I'm gonna stay away from Tetsuya Nomura for this, because I think the past 2 years I've been really locking on Tetsuya Nomura. I've been like glazing his artwork for the past 2 years. I'm not gonna lie, but I've been glazing his art style from the games Neo The Worlds With You and The Worlds With You on Nintendo DS. I've been glazing it, I've been studying, I've been practicing it well, not every day, but I've been really mindful about what I'm doing. Like, every time I draw, I'm like, yeah, think like Tetsuya Nomura. Draw like the style of Neo The Worlds With You, Tetsuya Nomura art style. I've been thinking of it a lot of time, and that came to the result of what I'm doing today with what I've been looking for about art, like, the angular, sharp shape language, the bold line art. And yeah, so this is really what I like from the art style of the Worlds With You. And I think as of today, or not even as of today, since last year actually, last year, even 2 years ago, well, I'll say since last year, because it's last year that I really started notice this. But as of last year, I think I've pretty much captured everything that I need to capture from Tetsuya Nomura's art style. Even some other artists, teachers from the animation school that I'm going to recognize where the art style came from, and so they even notice that I'm getting closer. I just need to work on more fundamental skills to be really at that level. So I think as of now, I can stop chasing the shadows of Tetsuya Nomura, start chasing being him, but I never wanted to be him, but I just wanted to have my art to be really close to aesthetic, and start to apply other art styles that interest me, or that will match with what I want to with my art when I take a finished piece of mine. When I finish doing a design for a character, or when I finish doing a full illustration of a character, when I make a print or a cover or whatever, finished product, And as of now, from what I break down, the art style breakdown that I want, aside from the sharp angular shape language and the bold line art that I already have now, I want to go back to the roots of where my inspiration started from, and by doing some retrospective about, okay, what made me start appreciate art, what made me start love art, what made me start wanting to achieve that dream of mine that I want to accomplish. Like my dream and goal is two different things. Like my goal right now is to be achieve a professional skill. My dream is something else. But I'm going back to those things, and this is where I discovered, okay, I want this in my heart, I want that, and those things, I'm gonna lay it down for you guys. I want to capture the 2000s Western action cartoon aesthetic, like the Ben 10s, Kid Next Door, Kim Possible, Daddy Phantom. I want to capture, there's something in there that really attracted me as a kid that I want to put within my own art. And I don't know how it's gonna mesh with what I already have, especially with the sharp angle shape language, because all the cartoons that I just said right now, the first shapes that come in mind are rounded shape. I'm like, okay, I want this, but I need to make this angular and sharper. So maybe it's like the coloring that we need to work on, the filters or whatever, you know, those type of stuff. And also something that is a bit more recent in my art journey, and it's when I was in visual art in my college days, you know, when before I graduated back in 2020, I was really into graffiti and pop art and street art. I was studying a lot of Jean-Michel Basquiat artworks. A lot of my final projects for visual art were based on the Jean-Michel Basquiat art style, especially the graffiti part of it. And I want to implement this with my art style, and I think it will blend really well because Tetsuya Nomura Neo Noir is with your art style is based on street art, you know, street artworks, you know, graffiti, all this stuff. Also pop art as well. And I'm already capturing a bit of pop art aesthetic in my own art with the bold line art, with the saturated colors, vibrant colors. I'm already capturing that. The only thing that we need to add is really like some other things like you know, some screen tones, more comic-like art, you know, like graphic, you know, a graphic in a sense like, you know, like the you know, the boom power. I used to this in English, you know, the sound effect, yeah. That you know, I need to add this a bit more in my own art as well, incorporated in a graffiti way. So this is something that we'll need to explore. And also when it comes to character designs, you know, aside from the shape language I like, I want to apply the designs philosophy from Nintendo, you know, like the way they create characters. You know, I'm not talking about the shape language itself, I'm talking like the key elements of the design, you know. Like when you think about Link, you know, the first thing you think about is the green tunic, the Master Sword, the alien shield. When you think about Mario, you think about his red cap, the mustache, his big nose, you know, the fact he's a plumber. Or when you think about Samus, you think about her gun, and her armor, and all this stuff, you know. I want to be able to design characters that could fit in a Nintendo game, you know, but with my own shape language type shit, you know. So yeah, I want to explore that as well. And as of now, this is what I got for the art style breakdown that I want to achieve by the end of block 3, or at least be close to that, you know, because I'm doing this in a limited time frame. Well, it's a limited time frame, but it's a long period of time, you know, because block 3 is gonna be from April 6th. As the time I record the video is April 7th, so it started yesterday, and so it starts from April 6th and end at June 11th. So June 11th, this is the last day I'm gonna work. Well, June 10th. June 11th we're starting block 4, and from June 11th till August 23rd or 22nd, block 4 I'm gonna finish block 4, and after that I'm gonna go to vacation. Then after that I'm gonna start school, and yeah, so that's the plan. So yeah, so I got 3 months. I got 3 months to to practice, study, and learn how to simplify, stylize, and work on my draftmanship. So yeah, so that's it for the art journey checkpoint. I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, tell me in the comment what you guys are planning to do with your own art with the couple months, you know, like we're already at in the fourth month of the year, and 2 months we're gonna be in the half of the year. So you know, guys, start be locking. If you haven't been locking since the beginning of the year, start to grind the art, achieve your goals, you know, try to break down your goals and everything, how you can accomplish them. And yeah, so I'll let you guys go. I hope you've been enjoying the time lapse that's been happening behind me behind the camera. I've been drawing Donkey Kong from Donkey Kong Bananza, the game that had been announced for Nintendo Switch 2. Really looking forward to the game. Don't think I'll buy the Switch 2 from day one, because you know, as much as I love Mario Kart, I'm not, you know, it's not like I'll buy the Switch Online thing. So there's no need for me to get this game with the console day one. And maybe, you know, as much as I like the Donkey Kong game, I don't think I'll get day one as well, because I'm really RPG oriented person. Like, I really love JRPGs, and so far there's not a lot of JRPGs aside from Bravely Default that I don't even know when it's gonna come out. So yeah, also just Kirby Air Riders, bro. If Bravely Default doesn't come out before Kirby Air Riders is gonna be the reason why I buy a Switch 2. Because bro, It's been a minute. I've been waiting for this game. I still have the disc on my with the GameCube and all this stuff, bro. The Kirby Air Ride, the original. Ah man, I'm so looking forward for that game. I'm looking forward to that game more than Mario Kart, because Mario Kart is Mario, you know. But Kirby Air Ride is just got something special in my heart. But anyway, enough yapping for me. I'll let you guys go. Enjoy your weekend, and yeah. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel to don't miss any of my videos. Next week, we're gonna have the first episode, the first episode that introduced Block 3, so part 16 of the pre-animation school training arc. And yeah, so like always, keep grinding, take some break, and don't slack. And yeah, I'll see you guys on my next video. All right, peace.